easier, Alex, to buy property in Indonesia than it is in Australia because there's no banks involved. So we're trying to change the world one city at a time by going, let's build the blueprint for an ideal city that's self-sufficient, has its own food, own water, its own community, has a set of values we all agree to. We believe in freedom. We don't believe in track and trace and enslavement, etc. And Indonesia has 17,000 islands, so plenty of beautiful places to hide out if the world does get a little bit crazy. But you can see this land, it's absolutely stunning. It's easier, Alex, to buy property in Indonesia than it is in Australia because there's no banks involved. I don't believe banks should exist. I think banks are unnecessary evil. Interest should be banned. So if people don't have all the funding, Alex, we can provide 60% funding into any of our villas or homes or studios or high rises, 60%. All you need is a good character reference. If they say, Alex, Nugget News, we'll go, yep, you can vouch for you. Good character reference, you get 60%, zero interest, zero repayments. There is no need to charge interest for banks should be banned. So we're making sure that so we don't have banks involved, zero interest. So you can do that 60% funding to anyone who has a good character reference, and we'll do that. They become instant millionaires. You can't do that in Australia. You can't go from nothing to hero multi-millionaire instantly. But in emerging countries like this, that's what's happening. So the locals benefit the most, okay? So a lot of people don't have to just focus, Alex, on the money they can make from their rental properties and live off that. The opportunity to start businesses. Most people that come to Bali and Indonesia, a lot of Australians, they do very well in business because your Western IP in Australia is not worth so much because 27 other million people have it. But your average middle-class Western IP in Australia, put it into a third world country like Indonesia, you can start businesses because you have the knowledge how it's done in Australia and do extremely well. So when people are thinking about you'll 10x your income, I think, if you're smart enough and savvy enough, if you were to live over here. You're selling yourself short if you live in Australia. That's what I'd say. If I stayed in Australia, I'd be earning 10% of what I'm earning now in Indonesia. A 10x everything. You can achieve 10 times the result in property, 10 times quicker. Things just happen faster. Humans need progress, and in Indonesia, progress happens. In Australia, you've got millions of bureaucrats and red tape trying to stop you doing anything. And it's just a farce.